Welcome and hello and hello and welcome. Welcome and hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me on this very special high hairline, shiny head, poorly aging, gray beard edition of Un Poco Mas, the show where we come at you with some real defined frown lines, some crow's feet, and we talk about stocks, guys. We give you that just a little bit more. The little bit more is the wrinkles. A little bit more is that, that gray just encroaching on my beard and temples, just getting older and falling apart, guys. Oh, the spice of life. Anyway, you freaking worthless sacks of dump, thank you for joining me on Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more. Hello and welcome and hello and welcome. Of course, they call me Little Danny Cornbread DeCarlo because I am moist, doughy, and I crumble under pressure. They call me the tugboat because I'm short in stature. I pull more than my own weight, and I'm rarely far from my home port. They call me Stubby Cohiba due to an unfortunate manscaping accident I had with a Vitamix many years ago outside of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. In South Florida, they still call me Stubby Cohiba. They call me Hurricane Lopez. They call me Stock Karen. They call me Dad. Blah, 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 blah. I'm a big dumb bobblehead, folks. If you didn't know that, you don't know nothing. Anyway, guys, I got to go quick because I got a ton of stuff to do today. I want to talk to you about the Nio Stock. Ticker symbol is NIO. I believe that was a false top there at 425. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to explain it to you. I always tell you, just follow the smart money. Don't do what they want you to do because they want you to lose money because that's how they put money in their pocket. Do the opposite of what they want you to do. Follow them. Watch what they're doing. Don't listen to the narrative. Don't listen to what their tools and plants and, bald prophets in the media say. Watch what they actually do. All you have to do is follow the smart money. Okay? These stocks that they pump to highs like Sofi to 28 or Nio to 68, and then they bring the stock all the way down to 3, from 70 to 3. Now, do you think they're satisfied there making money just shorting it down and, killing options and, castrating retail investors for sport to the gods at Blackrock and Vanguard and others, State Street, Citadel? No, guys, I don't think they're actually castrating people as an offer to the investment gods. But you never know what goes on in those corner offices when they get too pumped up on a bunch of Peruvian wham. But you see, guys, yesterday I think volume was 65 million. Today, volume, even though the stock ostensibly went down, volume was 70 million. Something else to notice. The last 4 days, okay, yes, they sell it off in the morning. That's price fixing. But that zipper job they do that looks like, the scar or the stitches after a heart surgery, it's like that barcode job that they just control the stock on. If you look at the daily charts, it always looks like this crazy, centipede video game thing. It doesn't look like a stock chart. It looks like, some type of a line, this craziness. So it always goes absolutely horizontal. They cannot hold that anymore. Look at what happens here. They sell this off, in the morning. They sell it off to 385, and then it trades quote unquote sideways to 392. Now that's pretty mild. Now they do a double waterfall on this one, all the way down to about 405. I mean, that day it trades all the way up to 418, then pops up to 425. I think that was after hours. What happens the next day? Same thing. Sell it off all the way to 413 throughout the day, pops back up to 425. Then, today, absolute, dramedy. They come in and they drop the stock all the way down to $3.95. What happens the rest of the day? Buying, accumulation, covering all day long. They trade the stock back up to $4.12. So it's not trading in that horizontal barcode zipper job thing anymore. They're trying to do that, but they can't keep it sideways because there's too much volume and there's too much buying pressure. If there's one thing a short weighing, price fixing turd hates, it's genuine volume, genuine buying pressure, not churn where they're selling the shares to themselves to fix the price. I'm talking about actual buyers of the stock coming in. And that's because these shorts do not want to tangle with CATL. They do not want to tangle with big bad William Lee. And most of all, I don't think they want to tangle with the L90. I think the L90, and just forgive me for hyperbolic puffery that I'm wont to do, but I think the L90 could be the best-selling car in China. I mean, it could be all things to all people. It looks good enough for rich people. It's economical enough for, the middle of the middle class, young people, young families. It's good for one guy. It's good for 7 people. It's super efficient with battery as a service. Almost anybody can get into that car. I don't care if you're, a shoe shine boy. I don't care if you're a restroom attendant, just smelling farts for a living, breathing in, fecal spray, handing people an unwanted spray of Dracar Noir, guilting them into a tip. No, I can get my own paper towel. That's fine. No, I do enjoy sort of an older, strange man, a retiree staring at my penis while I go to the restroom. No, I that is worth a tip. Part of the experience. When you can book that experience on Open Table. You have a strange older man stare at your genitals while you use the restroom just before dessert. Would you like patio, indoor, or high top? I really doesn't matter as long as I get the old guy looking at my junk in the restroom. I don't get the rest. That's one thing that the Optimus bot replace immediately, because the Optimus bot, it won't smell any of those farts. Elon can program that thing, just ignore the farts, and it will. Chamber of thoughts. So that's just anecdotally, not even anecdotally. I don't even know what anecdotally means. But another thing to keep in mind. Okay, this $4 level. I put this line in here the other day. I explained why this is critical, because it's a teeter-totter. It's a seesaw. It's a pivot. It's a bull, whatever you want to call it. A bull's taint. So it's support back here in January, bounces off again in February, bounces off again, almost, not quite, but in March, comes down again in April. What are they coming at us every month? Yeah, they are. It finally breaks down, all the way down here to $3, all the way back up. You see this trend line. This trend line is holding up too. So, tries to consolidate around this $4 boom, back down, back up, resistance, back up, breaks through, comes back down, tests once. What was the low here? 402. What was the low here? 396. So that's 2 tests of 4, bounce back up today again and close at $4.10. If we can make 4 support again, make Nio great again, you're going to see this thing make another move up here, at least, to this 550 area. I would contend it's going to be more like at least 750, because there are so many shares on loan, so many shares sold short. The short is expensive and the shorts are giving up. I'm about to show you that. Okay. I walk you through it all. I hold your hand. I put out the breadcrumbs. I lead your horse to water, and I pour the freaking water down the horse's throat. If you're too stupid, if you being my horse are too stupid to drink the water, which are these easy, huge profits, I'm trying to feed you morons, then I am going to put an IV feeding tube in you, and I am going to feed you that water, because your significant other is just fed up with your losses. You have a good job, but you trade like a donkey, like a hamster on crack. You're in and out all the time. You're selling the dip and you're smelling the rip, and you're just a born loser. I'm starting a new show. It's called Patty Bumpkin's Down and Out Pick of the Week. It's going to be where one of my alter egos, who's a complete loser, an Irishman by name of Patty Bumpkin. Patty I can't catch a break. I'm catching a run of cold cards. I can't pick a horse. So he's going to pick a fallen angel. He's going to pick one of these stocks that we think is going to come back. The great Billy Jack was talking about Peloton the other day. A lot of people talk about stocks like, what's another good example? Teladoc could be a good example of a Patty Bumpkins Down and Out Pick of the Week. You had a stock like Carvana, which I was poo-pooing when it was like $10-20. I thought, I'm going to short the stock from 20. Now it's like 350. I'm glad I didn't short it. I'm glad I have, tiny, tiny balls and just didn't short Carvana, because, man, I would have lost a fortune. Basically my margin account's only backed up by my one good testicle, my larger testicle. So you don't want to lose that one. That's a keeper. The other one I think is just a placeholder. I think it might be plastic. I think I might have been born with one testicle. My parents had a plastic one inserted just to make me feel better. I don't know. Could explain the low testosterone man boob situation I've been dealing with low these many years. Guys, I am man boobing at a very, very high level. I'm man boobing for fun and profit. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Oh, man boobing at an executive level. The Michael Jordan of man boobs, they call me. Don't palm the ball. Don't palm the ball. My dad gets so angry at like modern basketball, not only because their shorts come down below their genitals, but palming. Everything's a carry. Everything's a carry. Every single dribble. Every single dribble's a travel. Look at him turn it over. Look at him turn it over. There's steam coming out of your ears. That doesn't matter. He's traveling. That's not a crossover. It's a travel. Why are you getting so angry? Hate those shorts. They come down to their knees. Ah! All right. Why don't you go have another aneurysm? No. Anyway, guys, hello and welcome. It's Un Poco Moss. I'm not sure exactly what I was talking about. But anyway, you see how critical 4 is, the last 7 months. And I think if it could come through this clean, establish a couple more days, move up just a little bit, it's going to be off to the races. Because honestly, on the chart, there's a lot of noise to hear. But I mean, I really like it to move up past these points to this shoulder, at least 530. I think we're going to at least 530 and very, very soon. Let's take a look at the short here, guys. I don't know what I have. I don't, if you guys couldn't tell, I don't prepare for this show. I don't even read this shit in advance. I have no idea what's going to happen. So if I pull up something that's just a giant picture of a cake and balls, that was not my intention. But, sometimes you're bored at work. You're looking at some gay stuff. You're not gay, but you're gay friendly. The mind wanders. Whatever, you guys have all been there. It's not gay if you did in college. That's what I've always said. Anyway, so live short interest, guys. What are we seeing here? I mean, we never see this with Nio. So yesterday they returned 20 million shares off loan. Today, so far, they're returning another 9 million shares off loan. Cost to borrow down very slightly. Short interest, they returned 2.5 million shares today. So these are not little, peripheral changes you're seeing like CRISPR where they're covering like 50,000 shares. They're taking 20 million shares off loan. And why are they taking 20 million shares off loan? Very simple. Utilization 100%, cost to borrow 7.3%. You say, well, that's not that big a deal because the short interest value is only 800 million. But that represents this, 187 million shares times $4.10 or whatever it is. When you talk about 560 million shares, you're talking about, 2.5 times that much. So you're talking about, closer to $2 billion rather than $800 million. So you're not paying 7-8% interest on 800 million. You're paying 7-8% interest on 2 billion, which is a very jagged little pill to swallow. With all due respect to the great Alanis Morissette, you ought to know these shorts just might be giving up. Still, granted, they have all these shares on loan where they can go ahead and attack the stock if they smell any sign of weakness. But that's my point. They're not smelling weakness. They're smelling the opposite of weakness. They're smelling the musk of dominance. You must display dominance. So what are we seeing? And I talked about these filings before. Why do I think Blackrock and company are going to flip this? Look at what the major players are doing. Now, Morgan Fudley, they took off 14%. That's fine. Their average price is $14.20. That's a donkey average. I'm sorry if your average is higher than that. But as an institution with a 21 million share position to have a $14.20 average after the stock's been down at $3 and $4 for a long time, that is just absolutely pathetic. If I was them, I would go home too because they just can go suck an egg. Why don't they pay me? I could do better than that. So UBS added 70% to their share count last quarter. These are the previous filing date from May. So this is, first and maybe beginning of the second quarter, but increased their shares. What else do you see? Jane Street increased their call. They're a short seller, prominent short seller. They increased their call by 200%, and they only increased their put by 20%. So they usually have these straddles approximately even, but now their put is 7.5 million shares and their call is 1,900 or 19 million shares. Extremely bullish. UBS down here increasing again. What do you see with Citadel? Citadel increased their call 45%, and what did they put in their put? 36%. So that's pretty even, but you see their put is 7.1 million and their call is 12.5 million. So not quite a 2-to-1 ratio on call to put, but it's getting there, and it's getting a larger spread all the time. And Citadel doesn't sit around and just push stocks down. They participate on the way up as well. So, don't fool yourself on that one. What do you see? D.E. Shaw, they raised their stake 1,960%, almost 2,000% increase. And their average is 473. So they know how to get in where they fit in. They know how to pick their spots. Okay. This is a 3-tool player over at D.E. Shaw and Company, Inc. I don't know what these turds are. CMT Capital Markets and some German company increasing their call by 85%. This is an interesting one. Okay. Bank of America and Citibank. Bank of America increasing their position by 110% to 12 million shares. Citigroup increasing their position by 434% to 7. So, guys, follow the smart money. I know it's just starting, and I know these filings are old, but you're going to see this continue. This stuff, they didn't drive it down to 340 for no reason. They drove it down to 340 so, you pathetic bastards and retail investors would quit, and they could buy your shares at the lows and basically, bend over a barrel for a nice guided tour of the 50 states. You know what I mean? And I think you do. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm going to put the comments up. Not a lurker's not here. Great Princess J, guys, on the bat phone. Absolute greatest. Absolute best. Love you, sweetheart. Oh, guys, my hairline is advancing. Like the army against a 300. It's not good. Probably should have worn my Nio hat, but I felt like I was having a good hair day. It's like, it's flowing. Let's keep it going. So the smart money that matters, and you got to come way down because this is not a major position, but Blackrock increased their position. It was only, their average is 437. Okay. And they increased by 65%. Their little nephew, State Street, which is always right in the same trades with them, their average is 411, and they have, approximately the same number of shares of BlackRock. They only increased 2%. Okay. Okay. Stock Karen. Okay. I'm a bit of a pear shape. Okay, officer. I'm speeding, changing lanes, talking on my cell phone. Okay. When my one child was born, I gained 120 pounds and cut my hair real short, okay? My husband loves this look. He told me so. I was beating him with a rolling pin about the face, breast, head, neck, and chest. Okay. Ma'am, I'm just going to issue you a warning because I don't want to deal with you. The name's Stock Karen. Wearing people down until they just give up because they can't stand me because I'm insufferable's my game. Not a lurker's not here. He's on vacation. He wouldn't show up. He wouldn't dare. Better not tell anybody to like and subscribe, or I'm going to flip my lid. That just toasts my muffin. Why don't people eat those Thomason's English muffins anymore? Those things are great, man. Fat kid's dream. You load up all them nooks and crannies, a bunch of butter, just totally saturate that thin muffin, that thin biscuit. You almost want to burn it, nice and toasty. Get a nice pat of butter. Don't go by those guidelines on the butter stick. Those are just guidelines. You can do 2 lines. You can do whatever you need to do. But you saturate that muffin, you get some nice Jif, whatever, some Peter Pan peanut butter, whatever you got. Some of that natural weird stuff you got to stir. The oil on top, Laura Scudders. Let me ask you a question from a practical operation standpoint. If you're buying you a jar of Laura Scudders or one of those oil on the top peanut butters, first off, how is something that's just a bunch of oil on it more healthy? I guess it doesn't have any sugar, or it's like raw, it's vegan. I don't know. Probiotics, gluten. Oh, little Ethan can't eat gluten. Why? Because you're rich? Yeah, I'm bored. I'm bored and I'm on a bunch of pills, so I decided my children need dietary restrictions. So you're saying all your kids can't eat bread? They've been tested by a doctor or somebody? No. My medium told me. Gluten-free. You know who's never allergic to gluten? Poor people. I got a big deli sandwich here. I know you're poor and hungry. Ah, no, I'm sorry. Gluten upsets my stomach. I'm also lactose intolerant. So I'm going to turn down that giant hot fudge sundae as well. Well, I admire your willpower. All these rich people live down here. Santa Monica, Manhattan Beach. Little Ethan can't have gluten. No! I bet he can. That little fucker a cracker. See what happens. Yeah, I bet get that kid can scarf down a saltine, no problem. That kid some fucking oyster crackers, going to be just fine. Oh, I hate everybody. No, my kid's special. No, he's not. The fact that your husband has a really, really good job doesn't mean little Ethan can't eat certain things. See, when you guys, before you made all that money, you guys used to eat sandwiches, no problem. No. Everything's organic now. I don't know, man. I hate everybody. I hate it. I just hate people. I just can't stand society. I mean, it's just gotten ridiculous. So, you gotta have it's not enough. You gotta have organic food and you gotta have organic sheets, organic pillowcase. Just tell people it's organic. If I have a regular pillowcase, I break out. I'm hypoallergenic. I break out no matter what. They said, when is my acne going to go away? When I'm dead? For a small extra charge, the mortician can insert the acne. So you will recognize him in the afterlife. I don't know, man. Oh, thanks, Jeff. Unsub, resub, whatever you want to do. The great Justin Malouk. The Malooker. The big Malouk. Jeremy, I suppose I didn't purchase the lows and hopefully tons of upside. Oh, there's so much upside. Got more upside than my bill sick, which is a little bit on the low side. I don't want to speculate as the physics of why your balls get lower. Is it more skin stretching? I don't know. I got all kinds of issues. Low balls is barely on the list. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying? Yes, I'm conscious and I can hear you. I do know what you're saying. Why do you keep asking that? So yeah, I don't really know what the point of this video was. Basically, Nio. But you don't die on increasing volume. You don't die when they can not only not trade the stock at a down bubble. I mean, they can't even trade. This was 66. So yeah, volume actually went up today. See, this would just volume would just keep coming down if this was dying and the stock would go down. The stock was back down in the threes. But everybody knows it's not a $4 stock. It's not a $70 stock. But I think it could easily be, $7, $8, $10 stock right now. Very conservatively. I think 4 is, just a little bit ridiculous. I know they're losing money. I know the book value is not high. I know, Lee and others are selling more money. But if you're a long-term thinker, a strategic thinker, a critical thinker, Lee has no USP. Okay. I don't see how any other company besides the combination of CATL, Nio, Onvo, Firefly, Choco, Neo's battery swap, it's basically going to be death by 1,000 cuts if you're going to take on BYD, because I don't think Lee has the minerals. I don't think Xpeng has the minerals. They cannot compete on these. And yeah, they're selling the Mona, but a lot of these, even Jomi, I don't know if they can compete long term with BYD. Their unique selling point right now is their name, but I don't know. I don't know how special that car is. I don't know anything really. I'm trying to think about what I'm going to have for dinner. Trying to think about how long I can do this show before I have to pee. They call me Mini Water. The great Savage of Wall Street has joined us. Savage, what's going on? An affable smile, a new avatar. Excellent. Good to see you, Savage. Just back from another vacation where he stayed in a 5-star hotel for less than he should have paid. Had a great time with the family. And us turds who were buying his covered calls paid for all of his gambling and recreation. So from all of us donkeys, you're very welcome, Savage. We hope the family enjoyed the R&R time, and you're welcome. There's 5% of retail investors like Savage of Wall Street or like Premium of the Option or Alberto Berti-Aviles, these covered call guys, these wheel guys, Wheel Deal. These guys make money, and you donkeys feed the money. That's why Savage is at a 5-star, and you're a greeter at Walmart. It's your weak sauce turd. Plus, men with big heads and good smiles, we're usually very successful. You get a big round head, you got a big brain in there. You got a lot going on. You got a lot of horsepower. No replacement for displacement. Know what I mean? 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 Oh, I hate you guys. I think we could do Summer of Polka. We're going to bring in Jeremy Miller. We're going to bring in a pool boy. I got my cabana boy, Carlito. Oh, I'm hiring a second cabana boy. Just need to oil me up, wheel me out to the pool on a stretcher, get the IV started. All right, I'll see you guys Monday. He doesn't look good. No. Don't sub and like. See, that's how not a lurker gets you. Free head shaving with any sub and like. That's Justin Maluk. Poco Summer consists of shotgunning mini waters on a John boat with your balls over. See, my balls are trapped between my belly and my fat thighs, so not much tanning going on there. I need like a spreader bar, real high-powered lamp, infrared lamp, kind of an elaborate mirror system. You know those systems where they have the mirrors around the solar thing, and the mirrors move, and they focus the energy on the one like water, and they boil the water, and that drives like the electric generator or whatever. I need that kind of system to tan my wool sack. Might head out to rural Nevada just before Las Vegas to have that giant moving mirror deal. Okay, well, the show, like all my shows, basically devolved into talking about my testicles and how they're being crushed by my thighs, and how getting old sucks, and how it's a pain in the butt to have to tuck your balls into your socks every morning. How you got to not tie your shoes too tight in case you have to access your testicles at some point during the day for maintenance. Some type of maintenance operation. Does anybody have the steps? There are no steps. Call like Bruce Willis, shoot him onto an asteroid, or guy from Jaws. I think we're going to need a bigger mirror. Anyway, guys, I don't know. This show's terrible. Open. I have a lot of, I've been hearing people talking about Open Door Savage. I don't personally own it. I honestly don't know that much about it, but I've been hearing a lot of buzz about it. So if I get some time, definitely do some DD on it. I could unfold my scrotum in the wind on the raft and use it as a sail. Been there, done that. It's like when Chet Ripley and my this makes me think of my boy Payush, big John Candy fan, but calls me John Candy, in fact, which I'm a huge John Candy fan too. So I love that. But anyway, no, I haven't really got into researching. There's a bunch of other stuff I'm working on right now. There's couple of stocks I'm going to be out. A couple of stocks I just nobody knows about. Relatively small caps. They're not really penny stocks, but relatively micro cap just by comparison to these stocks we've been discussing. And I'm going to bring out a couple of just dark horses. Just I found this stock. It's a really weird little stock, but I started looking at who all the institutional owners on it are, and I'm like, oh my god. And I saw the price action. I'm like, these guys are going to flip this thing. And it's like 20% short. And the whole thing just makes no sense. I think this could be like a 10 bagger, a big 10 bagger. This is going to be my next SMMT. SMMT, I 23x'd pretty quick like. Made an absolute fortune. Bought a bunch of Sofi with that money just below 9. Made an absolute fortune on that too. Pretty much make an absolute fortune when I wake up. Just because I don't know. I'm smarter than everybody else. I see what's coming. So I generally make a lot of money. But you've never 10x the stock. You have 10x so many fucking stocks. And I'm going to 10x more. So yeah, Carl Schumark once caught his foreskin between weight plates at the gym. Not recommended. Yeah, I could imagine that would be very, very difficult. Funny you should mention it, but I'm going to Reno next week to celebrate my birthday. Nice, man. I knew you were, Savage. I knew you were. Tanner talking about looking into SoundHound AI. Yeah. Looking into the sun. Can't see anything. It's an eclipse. Anyway, guys, I got to go. The show sucks. You all are a bunch of weak sauce turds, except for Billy Jack. He's pretty good. Savage, all right. Savage ain't that weak like the rest of you. Carl Seamark's pretty good. The great Frank Flamish. Don't really know Frank Flamish, but I like his name. He comes in with a flourish. Could be Flemish. I don't know. What are Flemish people? Where are you from? The great Enar Bakadakadiga guy is back. What do you think about Novo Nardis, Wives for Beg from Zembic? I don't know. I've looked at the stock. Let me give you a more informed opinion. I'm gonna like write some of these down and come back and just take a look at it. Open Door, SoundHound. Let's make a list of about 10 stocks, and we'll just do a week rundown of the week, and we'll go through the stocks. We'll see why do you guys like them. If you guys are going to suggest a stock, just give me a thumbnail, a couple sentences of why do I like it. I think it's undervalued, and I like the management. I like the business model. They're executing really well. Management pivots well. Like, just give me an idea why you like it, so I have somewhere to start. Because a lot of times, I look at so many stocks, like literally thousands. I look at as many stocks as people mention to me. I at least take a preliminary look, and sometimes if I just glance at the financials and the chart, I'll just dismiss something out of hand that maybe I should have taken another look at, because you're like, no, this catalyst is coming. Like, you have to understand when you're like in tune with a stock, like I am with many, not all the stocks I own, because I own a lot of stocks, but my top cup, like my dozen, my hot dozen, my baker's dozen, my eggs, my huevos. When I'm in tune with those stocks, I know what they're doing. I know what they're doing every day. I know what management's doing. I know what the ER is doing. Guys, by the way, not for nothing, but I'm a strong buy Bank of America, anywhere near like 46, 47, pretty much anywhere under 50. I mean, their ER was really good. Not only did they beat on earnings, but they became more efficient. Their net interest income went up. I was really I've been a Bank of America shareholder for a long time. I'm a huge Warren Buffett fan. I own a lot of I own American Express. I owned Apple through the whole Buffett run. Not a ton or anything, but some. And I generally, have a lot of respect for Warren Buffett. I know people said he fell off. I really don't believe that. If you look, his money game is tight. His money's in the bank. I don't know where your money's at. Big bank don't respect little bank, and Warren is the biggest bank there is. Man has more cash than freaking federal, all the federal governments in the world combined, just holding cash, just hoarding cash. But Bank of America is really improved their fundamentals over the last couple of years, and with the dividend they're paying out, you know, EPS, it's like a 13 multiple right now, and their business is getting stronger. So I know a lot of you guys, like big SoFi guys, might know, and I have a lot more SoFi than I do Bank of America, but it's a legacy position for me, and I personally think it's going to run up to about 55 here on the strength of that ER. Now, could run out of gas 52, but I think it's definitely going to break down 50. So I don't know. If any of you guys want to take a look at it, I think it's definitely actionable. But you got to do you, man. This isn't financial advice. It's just stupid rantings of a poorly aging fat man. My head's itchy. Using rosemary oil. All these things start to happen when you like get old. Like, oh, you know, everything itches, everything hurts. I can't remember anything. I can't do anything right. I can't stand up without hurting myself. I can't walk so good. What are you up to? Oh, I'm just struggling. Just struggling my way through life while I man boob for fun and profit. Oh, glad to know now man boob is a verb. Because I've been man boobing for years at an executive level. Oh, mi corazón. Mi corazón. My life for my man boobs, I'll tell you. No, really. Man boobs aren't great. Really not a lot of upside. Chafing, sweat. That one funny little hair that comes out the side of your nipple. Does everybody have that weird gland nipple hair side of their nipple? Or areola, I guess. Do men have areolas? I don't know. Anyway, the pink part. If you're fortunate to be blessed with saggy man boobs, a big silver dollar looking pink part. There's that little weird hair on the side. Not the inside, but the outside. What's going on with that? All right. I gotta go, guys. This is terrible. Not a lurkers just informed me to drink mini water. Oh, good. The thing about mini water, it tastes nothing like regular water because at a cellular level, everything's much smaller. You don't have an H2O anymore. You just have an HO. So it's great for hoes. How. No, that's really stupid because if you took away that second hydrogen molecule, you'd just be totally fucked. Ask an engineer like CM Bar. Can't take away that second hydrogen. Water just don't taste the same. Take away the second hydrogen, now you got alkaline water. Add third hydrogen, you got tap water. Add a second oxygen, that's a spa treatment. No, we have water with an extra oxygen. People believe anything. I'm going to rub a bunch of, dog shit on your face. You're going to look way younger. Okay. Yeah, we're going to inject some rat poison into your face. How does that sound? Okay. Will I look better? Well, you'll look smoother. You'll look less animate. Oh, everybody says I need Botox, but I need it like 10 years ago. Ship has sailed. It's too late now. Oh, there's so many comments. I can't read all this bullshit. Yeah, man. That one errant black coarse nipple hair on the outside of your silver dollar man boob areolas. Topic on the table. I know, Savage. Everyone, like I do too. And I'm not trying to say anything just based on your head, but I'm not saying you're portly like me, but looks slightly portly. Anyway, guys, I got to go. I really appreciate it. I got to take this call. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. And all of the ball. Bye.